Good evening, Top 5 News. My name is Nija, and today I am bringing recognition to a desperate search for nearly a dozen African American and Latina girls that have been reportedly missing from Washington, D.C. in recent days. This is a storyline that has primarily gained traction online. There has been alarming posts of numerous girls being shared by millions of people across the country. Series of tweets asked by the D.C. police to help find these girls. Hundreds of concerned citizens packed an emotional town hall meeting last week, stating that there has been at least 8 girls missing within the last 3 days.
The disturbing fact is that we do have that many kids that go missing in our city, and it's been that way for a long time.
Those teens are among 38 in total starting from January of 2017. Please help as authorities are now trying to raise awareness. We certainly hope these families get their answers and their children come back safe. And now we have a touching story coming out of a marathon in Philadelphia. Let's take it to the footage.
Love Run shows love to a number of organizations through donations, but it was a few moments on the course and that stretch to the finish line that has everyone talking. Here it is right here. You can see there's one of the runners having some trouble there, and 2 men, they helped a runner in need to cross that finish line. This video has really gone viral on our Facebook page. Everyone's commenting and sharing it.
Well, this is right about 100 yards from the finish line, and I was coming up and I saw her legs were giving out, and I just grabbed her just before she fell, and tried to help her along, and made this. I don't know who the other gentleman is, but then Joe came back and lifted her up, and we carried her just before the finish line and let her cross on her own.
Oh, wow. So she got to make that final step.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Like, is she okay? They have to take her to paramedics? Or?
They asked us if she needed medical attention, and we said yeah, and they brought up a wheelchair, and we put her in a wheelchair, and we walked off and went about our day, and didn't realize anything was going to happen with this until I got a phone call from my cousin Bill, and he said, "You're on Facebook, you're on."
And in more local news for the University of Hartford this coming weekend is Spring Fling, starting April 20th until the 22nd. A lot of college students are very exciting. Some are even going to be experiencing Spring Fling for the very first time. So we all hope they enjoy. In terms of entertainment for this weekend, the opening act will be Annoyed, a local hip-hop artist out of Bloomfield, Connecticut. Their main performance is Waka Flocka Fame, also a hip-hop artist from South Jamaica, New York, signed with 1017 Records. Also, during those 3 days, there will be activities such as a Rocky Horror Picture Show, Multicultural Parade, Battle of the Bands, and UHeart's very own talent show. There's a lot of talent on campus, and we hope everyone enjoys what they see. Marissa, what can we expect this weekend during Spring Fling's festivities?
Well, let's take a look at what the weather is going to be like here in UHeart. So on Friday, it's going to be a low of 39, so make sure you have your sweatshirts when you're wandering around campus. If you want to head to Boston for the weekend, it's going to be 42 in there, and down in New York City, it'll also be 42. If you want to take an extra long drive up to Maine, it's going to be 36 in Augusta and 40 in Orano. Let's take a look at our Saturday forecast. So here at UHeart on Saturday, it's going to be 46 degrees. If you want to head up to Boston, it'll be a little bit warmer, 47. Still might want to bring a sweatshirt when you walk around. But down in New York, it's going to be a nice 48, so starting to warm up a little bit. But still up in Maine, if you want to take that long drive, it'll still be about 46 degrees. Let's see what Sunday has for us. So here at UHeart, it's going to be 54, finally warming up. You might still need to bring a light jacket, but it should be pretty comfortable. Boston's going to be 42, so a little bit cooler. New York's going to be 57, which will be a nice day to walk around in the city. And Maine is still going to be a little cold at 46 and 44. Let's take a look at the 7-day. So Friday is going to be nice and warm, 72, partly cloudy, but it'll still be a good day to walk around. But as we move into the week, it'll get cooler and cooler, but the sun will still be shining. However, once we end the week, it's going to get cloudy on Wednesday at 64, and Thursday you're going to want to bring your raincoat and rain boots because it's going to be 60 degrees and rainy. Let's see what we have new in sports.
All right, thank you, Marissa. I'm definitely looking forward to that 72-degree weather. Weather is right, though. Spring weather along with spring sports are in full swing. We have your Hartford lacrosse, baseball, and softball updates coming up. But for now, we're going to take a look at some basketball earlier this month as history was made with UConn. And like I said, UConn's women's basketball has been a powerhouse for the longest time, but their success hit a little bump in the road during the NCAA tournament semifinals. Mississippi State was able to take the Huskies to overtime and get that W through a buzzer beater off the hands of Morgan Williams. This marks the end of a 111 win streak, which started all the way back in 2014. And while UConn had an incredible run, all great things must come to an end. And now we're going to take it over to lacrosse with spring sports. Last Sunday marked the beginning of conference play for the Hawks, who took on the Stony Brook Seawolves. Let's take it to the highlights to see what the Hawks brought to the table after their win against Marist. And as you can see, starting off in the first period, the Seawolves are up by 3. They're going to bring it downfield off the hands of Borger, who puts it in for Hartford, getting their first point on the board. Now we're in the second quarter. Stony Brook's a man up, and they're going to take advantage of that, putting in a point for them, getting it up to 5 goals. And 20 minutes into the game, Hartford is down by 5. Dylan Jinks is going to pass it over to Huggins, who scores it for Hartford. Getting the right past the goalie. The bench is really excited about that one. And now with 1 minute left in the half, Hartford is going to be a man up. Griffin Finder is going to pass it over to Brown. Brown bounces it off the ground and passes it into the net, putting Hartford at 7-3. And now for the third quarter, Bitzer's behind the net for the Seawolves. He's going to get blocked by 2 defenders, but he's going to be able to put that over the goalie and get that as a goal. The score is now 8-3. Hartford has to close the deficit. Jinks is going to run it all the way down the field, past all those defenders, and put that in for Hartford, closing the gap. With less than 6 minutes left in the period, Stony Brook's a man up with 9 points. Make that 10 as the ball just rockets in there. And at the end of the third period, Hartford's going to inbound the ball to Doozer, who's going to put that right in the top of the net for Hartford, putting them up to 6 points. 12 minutes left of play. The Seawolves looking to keep that commanding lead. John Wan's going to bring it in around the defenders, and he's going to be able to put that one in for Stony Brook. And now Hartford desperately needs to close that gap. They are down by 5 with 11 minutes left of play. Hartford's going to try and do the best they can, getting blocked by the defenders. Going to pass it behind. Going to bring it up. Almost falls over, but he gets the goal anyways. Hartford really needed that right there. And now, final minutes of the game. 2 minutes, 34 seconds left. They're going to be a face-off between Hartford and Stony Brook. Hartford a little more victorious in the face-off, but not this one. Stony Brook's going to take it right off the rip, just going to put that right in the goal for them. And that's going to be it for Hartford. The nail is in the coffin. The final score, 13-9. Let's take it to the graphic to see how they did. And as you see, Justin Huggins was able to put in 2 goals off of 3 shots. Griffin Finder for Hartford getting 2 goals, 1 assist and 8 shots, contributing to Hartford's 9 points. The Seawolves, on the other hand, had Ryan Bitzer with a whopping 4 goals and 1 assist. And Tom Wan with 2 goals, 1 assist, and 7 shots. And after losing 1-2 in a series against Stony Brook on the road, one of those losses being by 14 points, baseball went on to face Yale at home. Let's check out the stats. And unfortunately for the Hawks, they cannot bring home that W, losing 13-11. Eric Osberg led the squad with 3 runs and 3 RBIs. Dalton Roosh also got 3 runs and 2 hits. For the Bulldogs, Tom Ruddy had 3 runs, 1 hit, while pitcher Alex Stiegler allowed 4 hits and 3 runs across 4 innings. Meanwhile, softball took on Quinnipiac in a doubleheader against Hamden in Hamden with a 3-loss streak. Could they bring home the win? Let's take a look at the stats. And in the first game, Hartford did not fare so well, losing by 5. Marissa Ferguson put up only 1 hit for the Ladyhawks, while pitcher Melissa Pereira allowed 4 earned runs in 6 innings. For the Bobcats, Keila Cordero batted in 1 run and ran in 1 of her own. Casey Herzig pitched for 7 innings, holding Hartford to only 1 hit and striking out 5 batters. Let's check out what happened in the second game. And as you see, the Ladyhawks held up a little bit better this time, but still did not get the W they were looking for. Elizabeth Newkirk got 3 hits and ran in a point for the Hawks. Bianca Ross pitched for 6 innings, allowing 6 hits and 1 earned run. Sarah Heimbach, meanwhile, of the Bobcats, got 3 runs and a hit for her squad, while pitcher Abby Long allowed 3 hits and struck out 5 batters over 7 innings. Yeah, it's really unfortunate for the Ladyhawks. They couldn't get that win, but you know when they will get another chance? Spring Fling. They're playing here. over the
that's
weekend.
Ooh,
awesome.
that'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's another thing that everyone should know so they can go to as well.
It'll be another activity that would be great to have all the support from the hometown crowd.
Yeah, exactly there.
Exactly. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in to Top 5 News. I'm Nija,
I'm Marissa.
And I'm Razme.
and have a good evening.